love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my homies? We've got another UFC full card breakdown and predictions video. This one's gonna be a big UFC card. Spark your blunts, my friend. UFC 276. Now jumping straight into the MoneyCity comments. We're starting with Dean. I'm not going to attempt the second name, but Dean says Carlos Solberg is my best bet. That's money. You already know about that Carlos Solberg bet. I love that one. Alright, we've got Josh Hogan. If he's hit all of this, Moises, Rakhmonov, Morozov, best prop, Bordeaux Parisian doesn't go the distance. I also think Gamrot has the real potential of an upset. Gonna take a small stab. Fried Demopoulos is 50-50. I'm taking a shot on Vanessa at +2. We've just found the new MoneyCity champion of the world and new Josh Hogan. Hey, there's too much money in this comment and it's got 27 likes, so everyone's looking at that. Probably profited on that. That's nasty. That's the new champion. The new MoneyCity champion of the world is Josh Hogan. That's nasty. That's money. Hey, shout out to my homie, the chef Maycee. Durden Shavkat Curtis. That's money. Okay. Now we've got Eric, who has been on the MoneyCities before. He said Rakhmonov, Nurmagomedov. You can add Batista. It's money. Alright, looking at Big Plays MMA, had Umar and Shavkat. That really was MoneyCity. That's the lock of the last card. And the last MoneyCity comment, we've got Frost, who took Gamrot by decision. I don't agree, but it's still money. Alright, UFC 276, let's break them down, let's go. Alright guys, first matchup on this card, we've got Jessica Rose Clark taking on Julija Stoliarenko. Now initially with this matchup, I was thinking Jessica Rose Clark, she's a sure pick. And she is going to be my prediction. I am going to take Jessica in this fight. When you look at what she done to Sarah Alpar, I was kind of close to calling the police in that matchup. Like, it was getting bad. It was complete dusteration. Dusted. Then against Jocelyn Edwards, you know, she used a good game plan. Take the fighter to the mat. Use our advantage in that fight. She done that against Jocelyn. Now, I'm not sure why she tried to grapple against Stephanie Egger. I'm not sure why she tried to do that. But yeah, she got dusted. Armbar. I don't know why you're trying to grapple Stephanie Egger. Don't do that. Now here's my problem, guys. Julija Stoliarenko, she's looking for an armbar. So if Jessica Rose Clark thinks, look, I'm going to grapple this girl, I'm better with the grappling, then she might get armbarred. You look at Julija Stoliarenko in the UFC, it's not looked good. And that's kind of because she's a one-trick pony. So yeah, guys, I am going to side with Jessica to win this fight. I don't want to see her grapple. I want to see Jessica Rose Clark look to use the striking in this fight. That's going to be her advantage. So yeah, my first prediction on this card, I'm going to side with Jessica Rose Clark. Alright, moving into a very good matchup. A difficult prediction to make. We've got Brad Tavares versus Dricus du Plessis. Man, I've taken Dricus du Plessis in both of his UFC fights so far, and it's been complete dusteration. It's looked pretty good for Dricus. You know, you can't really speak about any weaknesses. It's been good. Now the opponent is Brad Tavares, guys. This guy's very experienced. He's fought good competition. Edmund Shabazian, Israel Adesanya. He did get dusted by both of those guys. But yeah, Brad Tavares, man, very experienced. Good kickboxer. Good kicking. Good boxing. Which is good kickboxing, essentially. Guys, gun to the head. I'm taking Dricus du Plessis. I'm still riding the Dricus du Plessis train. Let's go. And the main reason why I'm going to pick Dricus to win this fight, he's looked good. Hey guys, the South Africans are here. Dricus du Plessis, let's go. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Jessica Eye taking on Maycee Barber. This is a good matchup. For Jessica Eye, you know, she's been at the highest level for a long time. She's fought good competition. But you kind of got to acknowledge that she is older now. You know, she is doing the OnlyFans. If you're looking at the style of Jessica Eye, I would say she's like a, kind of like a bully. You know what I'm saying? She's got that bully mentality. You know, push you against the fence, look to use the strength. That type of mentality. I kind of think Maycee Barber has the same type of mentality, you know. She's pretty strong. She's a good grappler, good wrestler. So you kind of have two styles that are pretty similar. But one fighter's quite older and the other's more, you know, approaching her prime. I know Maycee Barber kind of looked funny measuring the range against Alexa Grasso. You know, that was kind of funny. You know, you could fit a double-decker bus between Alexa Grasso and Maycee Barber, but yeah, that was funny. She definitely didn't beat Miranda Maverick, obviously. Her grappling against the fence and the grappling on the mat against Montana De La Rosa, that was pretty decent. So yeah, guys, I'm going to side with Maycee Barber in a matchup where the styles are pretty similar. You know, Jessica likes to be strong in the clinch. She likes to bully you in the octagon. Maycee Barber likes to do the same thing. So yeah, I'm going to side with the future, who's probably not going to be the future, but in this matchup, might win this one, might look like the future in this matchup. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Uriah Hall taking on Andre Muniz. This guy's a jiu-jitsu player. He's looking to snap your arm, he's looking to choke you out, he's looking to use BJJ. Now for Uriah Hall, this guy's a really good kicker. We've seen this guy kick people. He's a very good kicker. Just speaking about Uriah Hall's most recent matchups, against Bevan Lewis, he was losing that whole fight. And then, you know, close to the end of that fight, finds a big shot. Against Shoeface, you know, this was a close fight. I had Uriah Hall that night. He did get taken down, but was able to get back to the feet. Against Anderson Silva, you know, kinda was losing early in that fight. Against Anderson, at that age, kinda embarrassing. Against Chris Weidman, there wasn't really a fight. There was just a lot of people being sick. You know what I'm saying? That was horrible. And looking at his most recent matchup, which was against Sean Strickland bullied him. He bullied him. Hey guys, you got to stay lit on this one. It's a pay-per-view. This is a big card. Stay lit. This matchup's pretty simple. If Muniz takes this fight to the mat, if he takes Uriah Hall to the mat, just enjoy the show. On the flip side, if this matchup does not go to the mat, if you're betting on Muniz, you might be angry. My prediction in this matchup, guys, I'm going to side with Muniz to get this fight to the mat. Probably get a submission. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Donald Cerrone taking on Jim Miller. It's kind of interesting that this matchup is at welterweight and not lightweight. So you have to imagine Donald Cerrone carrying that extra weight. And you have to imagine Jim Miller, who doesn't have good cardio. You have to imagine him moving around with that extra weight. This is a weird matchup. Two legends, two veterans. You know, some people might think Jim Miller's more durable. He might be able to grapple Donald, might be able to beat him on output. And that might be the story. But I'm not going to take that prediction, guys. I'm not going to take that narrative. I'm going to say that Jim Miller gasses out in round 2 with that extra weight. That's what I'm going to go with. Hey, I was taking Donald Cerrone against Joe Lauzon. I'm taking him against Jim Miller at 170 all day. And to be honest, guys, when you look at the betting line, I might have to play that. You know what I'm saying? I might do it. I might not. My inner degenerate wants to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Plus 180. That's a big line on Donald Cerrone. If Jim Miller slows down, the head kicks are coming, my bro. The knees to the body are coming, my bro. I really think Donald can do this one. That's going to be my prediction. And if Jim Miller gets it done, you know what I'm saying, credit to the guy. But yeah, I'm taking the cowboy. Let's go. Alright, moving into a matchup between Ian Garry taking on Gabe Green. My prediction in this matchup is the future Ian Garry to completely dust Gabe Green. I think he's going to dust him. And that's what I'm going with on this one. You know, Gabe Green's a pretty tough guy. I like what he done against Philip Rowe. I like the recovery against Johan Lenice. I think is the pronunciation. Probably not. But yeah, guys, my prediction in this one, I think Ian Garry kind of got tagged a little bit by Jordan Williams. But you look at the way it finishes, counter right. Then you look at the matchup against Darian Weeks, where Darian kind of held his own in that matchup. Looked pretty decent. But I also think Ian Garry had his moments, you know, grew into that fight, took over that fight, looked good moving at times, the technique looked good. My prediction in this matchup, guys, I think the technicality of Ian Garry will be the difference. I think he's going to dust Gabe Green. That's my prediction. Let's go. Alright, moving into a matchup between two veterans again. Robbie Lawler taking on Bryan Barberena. What a matchup this is. Now recently, guys, we did witness Bryan Barberena fight Matt Brown. This was a beautiful war between two veterans, you know, a really good fight. We also witnessed Robbie Lawler compete against Nick Diaz, who is also a veteran, a legend. This was a good fight for Robbie Lawler. Guys, my reasoning behind my prediction on this matchup might be a little bit weird, but I'm always going to keep it real, and I'm going to give you the weird logic behind my pick. I think Robbie Lawler wins the fight purely because he hasn't put two together in a long time. I think the last time Robbie Lawler won 2 fights in a row, you have to go back to like 2015. And I think if you're going to see Robbie put two together again in the UFC, if you're going to see that happen again, I kind of think it would be now or never for Robbie Lawler. And I'm just going to roll with that. I'm going to roll with Robbie Lawler to put 2 wins together in beating Bryan Barberena. I took Bryan against Matt Brown. You know, it was a war. And I'm kind of surprised to see him back so soon. So yeah, guys, that's my weird logic behind my pick with this fight. I'm taking the OG Robbie Lawler purely because I think he's going to put 2 together. I think he's going to do it. That's my prediction. Let's go. Alright, guys, moving into a matchup between Brad Riddell taking on Jalin Turner. Man, this is a difficult prediction to make. I kind of think that, you know, Brad Riddell has to be the better striker in this matchup. If you're looking technique for technique, you're going to say Brad Riddell's the better striker. And guys, don't get it twisted, yeah? Brad Riddell is that kid from Jumanji. The simulation ain't fooling me on this one. He's from Jumanji. He's that kid. I'm telling you. Now, when you look at Jalin Turner, this guy's decent, man. This guy's been on a killing streak. You know what I'm saying? Getting the kill streaks like you do in COD. I ain't played COD in a long time, but don't get it twisted, yeah? 2007 COD 4. Don't get it twisted. Man, Jalin Turner's boxing looked really sharp against Jamie Mullarkey. It looked quick. He's got a big height advantage. He's got the reach advantage. You look at what he done to Uros Medic as well, you know what I'm saying? Dustoration. Is Jalin Turner going to do that to Brad Riddell though? Brad Riddell's a super good Muay Thai striker. Guys, this one has the makings to be a crazy striking matchup. Gun to the head. Actually, no. Don't put the gun to the head on this one. Don't put the gun to the head on this one. I'm taking Turner, but I'm not confident. No gun in this one. You know, anytime you got the gun to the head going against Brad Riddell, you might not make that. This is a good matchup. I'm taking Jalin Turner. I think he's been on a killing streak. Wouldn't be surprised if it stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's a good matchup. Alright, my homies, you know what time it is. And if you don't know, now you know. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoyed the smoke breaks, that's a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Guys, I've got the all-time combination on the go. The blunt and the coffee. You cannot beat this combination, I'm telling you. What is your favourite smoke, drink combination? For me, it's the blunt and the coffee, you know what I'm saying? The coffee wakes you up, the blunt sends you to sleep. It's legal too, you know what I'm saying? It's a speedball combination and it's legal, so it's good to go. Now guys, just before I finish the smoke break on this video, I'd like to post all of my Patreon work on the screen. I'm just going to post these screenshots, and there is a lot of screenshots and you might not be able to read it. It might be too small for the screen, but yeah, I'm going to post all of those, and if you want to pause it and read some, you can do that. Basically, my Patreon has all of the bets that I'm going to be placing on every UFC card. Not only does it have all of my bets, I also break down every fight from a mathematical standpoint, and then on top of that, I also look at value props, and the value props may not necessarily be what's most likely, but they are going to hold a better chance than what's indicated, and that's how you find value. For example, Rodolfo Vieira decision and Curtis decision, both of these props had more value than taking Chris Curtis TKO or Rodolfo submission. Obviously that's more likely. And fight to go the distance, oh my goodness, that had so much value. So yeah, I'm going to be posting all of these screenshots of my work on the Patreon last week. And there's a Discord, a beautiful Discord that's also on the Patreon. Alright, let's break down the main card. Let's go. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Pedro Munhoz taking on Sean O'Malley. That's my prediction right there. That's who I'm picking in this matchup. I'm taking Sean O'Malley because I know what's good for me. You know what I'm saying? This is a Sean O'Malley matchup. Sean O'Malley wins this fight. Listen guys, I like Pedro Munhoz. Pedro Munhoz has good experience, good jiu-jitsu. I took Pedro Munhoz to beat Cody Garbrandt as a big underdog. And he got it done, you know, the calf kick set up the knockout. Now, is Pedro Munhoz going to land calf kicks against Sean O'Malley, one of the most elite strikers in the UFC. Is he going to do that? He's not going to do that. You know, Sean O'Malley's switching stances. He's got so many feints. He's so quick. He's long. He's tall. Pedro Munhoz is not going to win in the striking. He has to grapple if he wants to win this fight. And you might also make the case that Pedro Munhoz is really tough. You know, he's tough to put away, but that's not going to rack up points. You know what I'm saying? Being tough isn't going to score you points. Pedro Munhoz has to take down Sean O'Malley to win this fight. Is he going to do that? I don't think so. Sean O'Malley wins this fight. Let's go. Alright guys, moving into a matchup that is very, very difficult to predict. We've got Sean Strickland taking on Alex Pereira. Sean Strickland's been on a beautiful run in the UFC. When Sean Strickland can keep the fight in the pocket, look to use that boxing, he's pretty effective. But doing that against Alex Pereira, that might be a dangerous game plan. You know, looking at the striking of Alex Pereira, we know this guy has beat Israel Adesanya. We know this guy is a very, very good striker. So if Sean Strickland puts himself in the pocket and he's trying to land his, you know, 60% power jab, if he's trying to do that, he might get dusted. I kind of think it would be a wise thing for Sean Strickland to take down Alex Pereira, but Sean Strickland isn't a wrestler. He's not about that life. He's about the boxing life. And if you're trying to box with Alex Pereira, like I said, you might get dusted. My prediction, the Sean Strickland streak is done. I'm taking Alex Pereira to win this fight. If Sean Strickland can prove me wrong, take the fight to the mat, or even beat Alex Pereira in the stand-up war, if he can do that, I'll be amazed. But yeah guys, like I said, Alex Pereira, the striking's real nasty, and if he can use that against Sean Strickland, I think he probably gets the win. That's going to be my prediction. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Alexander Volkanovski taking on Max Holloway. The trilogy. I'm excited for this one, man. This one's going to be a banger. Now, guys, just before I break down this matchup, if you didn't hear how I started the Gamrot and Sarukian breakdown, if you didn't hear that, go back and listen. Go back and listen to that breakdown and just listen to the first, like, 10 seconds. And if you didn't listen to the smoke break, listen to the smoke break too. I'm going to make the prediction that if this matchup is close, there might be a hijacking in this matchup. There might be, but like I said on the smoke break on my last video, they can only do it if it's close, right? It has to be a war. It has to be a good fight. And that's where people say it's not a robbery, it was a close fight. So they can only rob it for Max Holloway if it's a close fight. Now, speaking about the matchup we've got, the first matchup, you have to give credit to Volkanovski with the calf kick. The calf kick was why he won that fight. In the rematch, you know, you have to give a lot of credit to both guys because the first 10 minutes, Max Holloway looking great. You know, head kicking Volkanovski, looking good. Then Volkanovski started to land some big shots, takedowns, you know, took over in the middle of the fight and the end of the fight. Did win that rematch. Now Volkanovski has to do it again in the trilogy. Has to prove he can beat Max Holloway again. I don't know why, right? I don't know why they're doing that. But at the same time, guys, I do kind of understand because if anyone's going to beat Volkanovski over 25 minutes, I kind of think it's Max Holloway. And for anyone who's thinking, you know, he can't because he didn't, well, look at the first 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Those 10 minutes prove he can win 10. If he can win 10, he can win 5 more. The best is blessed. That's my prediction. I'm taking Max Holloway in the trilogy. I took him in the first fight. I was wrong. I took him in the rematch. I was wrong. I'm taking Max Holloway in the trilogy. I believe he can do it. I believe he can do it, guys. He hasn't done it yet, but I still believe he can. I'm taking Max Holloway. My prediction is the Blessed Express. Let's go. Alright, guys, moving into the main event, we've got Israel Adesanya taking on Jared Cannonier. Now, for anyone that's thinking, you know, the UFC main events, they're doing robberies on these decisions, let me go ahead and bet Cannonier decision. Let me do that real quick. If anyone's thinking that, my friend, don't even do it, right? Like I said, if there's going to be a robbery, it has to be close. This main event's not going to be close. Israel Adesanya wins the main event. I took Cannonier against Eric Brunson. I went against him with KG. He done good there. He landed a lot of power in that fight, which he won't land against Adesanya. I went against Cannonier with Robert Whittaker. You know, Whittaker's a level above. I did take Jared Cannonier as like a plus 275 against David Branch when he was on his way down to the middleweight division from heavyweight. Against Israel Adesanya, you know, how does Jared Cannonier win this matchup? He's got that power calf kick, but is that going to land against one of the best strikers, one of the best guys who's managing range in the UFC? Is it going to land? Probably not. Then I'm looking at the wrestling. You know, can Jared Cannonier take Izzy to the mat? Because that's really what you've got to do to beat Israel Adesanya. So can Jared Cannonier get a takedown in this fight? Probably not, considering he's not a wrestler. He's a knockout guy. He's a guy who's looking to land the power. Will Jared Cannonier be able to translate that power to the target? And the target being Israel Adesanya. Can he do that? I kind of think that if Jared Cannonier wants to win this main event, he has to be the first guy to knock out Israel Adesanya. That's kind of what I think he needs to do to win the fight. And I don't really see that happening. I see Izzy being able to do that to Jared. I see Izzy finishing the fight. That's got to be my pick. And still. Alright, my homies, be sure to drop down your main event, your co-main event, MoneyCity plays, 2-fight parlays, underdogs. Drop all of that. Keep your eyes to the sky and never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller. Alright, peace.